Hello and welcome to another raging episode of the Hellion Rebellion Rock and Roll Association, brought to you by Holly Geist. The holiday season is not yet over. I don't consider it over until New Year's. And what better way to celebrate the holiest time of the year than by celebrating it with the soothing sounds of early 90s, second generation, extreme, Scandinavian, satanic black metal. Tonight's subject matter is one of my all-time favorite black metal bands, Dissection. This is a band I've been wanting to talk about for over a year now. Mostly because one of my earliest subscribers, also has an affinity for this band. My man from the Great White North, base of Molag. He was probably around the 30 mark as far as subscribers go, but he was probably the first guy that had a YouTube channel and did his own thing. So I thought that was really cool when he started talking to me and talking about my show and that sort of thing. So yeah, it gave me a thrill. It took me about a month before I realized his logo was really similar to the Dissection logo. And so I asked him, "It's like, do you like the band Dissection?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's one of my favorite bands." I'm like, "Man, I thought I was the only one." Uh, the thing about Dissection, the other reason why it's been hard for me to want to talk about this band is that there's a lot of baggage that comes with these guys. So let's just. I'm just gonna tell you the story that I know. Dissection would start in 1989. They would go by the name of Satanized, kind of like sanitized, but it's satanized. They would add a member to the band, and by 1990-91, they were known as Dissection. They're a little bit different than the original Norwegian bands because they're not from Norway. They are from Stromstad, Sweden. Stormstad, Sweden. Not only are they not from Norway, which is highly elitist and claim to be the originators of black metal, which I pretty much believe they are. The other big difference between Dissection and the early 90s black metal bands is that Dissection actually relished using bass and drums in their music. And it's probably why I found myself kind of drawn to them, being from the United States. And, we didn't really have black metal. That kind of crept up on us. But we did have a lot of death metal, and there's a lot of bass and drums in that. Dissection was accepted in the elitist Norwegian black metal cult because they were affiliated with a satanic cult called the MLO, which stands for the Misanthropic Luciferian Order. They claim to have thousands of members worldwide. This is a black cult who believes that they worship some sort of cosmic Satan, and that the cosmos is chaos, and Satan is a symbol of all this chaos. The people who are involved in this take it very seriously. um, and I think a lot of these early black metal bands were very influenced by this. The other reason I think Dissection was accepted by the Norwegian crew is that Stromstad is right on the border of Norway, and at one time was a part of Norway. And in fact, most of the people in that area of Sweden are of Norwegian descent. So they were kind of Norwegian by proxy. It's kind of like the people who uh, the hip hop rap people of New York. If you're not from New York City, you don't know how to do pure hip hop, pure rap music. It's that whole Norwegian thing, black metal thing. They're very elitist like that. Um, Kind of like you can't call champagne champagne unless it comes from the region of Champagne, France. It has to come from that region for it to be champagne. Very elitist, very narrow minded, very primitive. So, again, Dissection started off in 1989. They were called Satanized. They would change their name to Dissection in 1991, put out a couple records. And then I would say probably in 1994, the singer of this band, I'm going to butcher his name, just like I'm butchering every other Swedish word I'm trying to say. John Nodveit. Um, he and a buddy of his were drinking and carrying on in good old Gothenburg. Uh, this was a city it's known for its very large LGBT community, and they began getting pestered by this homosexual who was wanting to join a satanic cult and wanted to be like this big gay Satanist. They tolerated it for so long, and then they ended up getting pissed off. They lured this guy to a park, and John's buddy Vlad ended up shooting this guy and murdering him. However, John was there. It was John's pistol, which is shocking to me because Scandinavia has some of the toughest gun laws in all of the modern world. Um, I'm kind of surprised he had a pistol. But he was arrested for accessory, or what they call it, complicity to murder, and was sentenced to 10 years in jail. The country of Sweden or the town of Gothenburg, whoever, claimed that it was a hate crime, and that's how it went down. John would get out of jail only serving 6 or 7 years. He would reform Dissection in 2004. They would put out another album or two, and then in 2006, John Nodveit would kneel down in a circle of candles, and he once again had another pistol, which I don't see how he got a pistol the second time, and he would take his own life. People claim that one story is that he sacrificed his body to Satan. Some people believe that he had a lot of remorse for the way he lived his life and what he, was put in jail for, and was having a hard time living with himself. Uh, I mean, put those things on top of crippling depression, alcohol, and drugs, and yeah, you've got a perfect storm for suicide. I don't know if I believe in one story or the other. I kind of think it's a combination of all that. So that was the end of Dissection. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have a new singer now, and they've been kind of rocking the world with their heavy metal chaos for the last 5 or 10 years. But yeah, don't quote me on that. So, how about we drop a laser on this thing so you can hear what these guys sound like? I'm gonna play a song called "Frozen," um, but the song that comes after it is called "Feathers Fell." And even though they're two different songs, "Feathers Fell" is kind of like it's a really nice, ethereal, crazy, eerie acoustic thing that I've always kind of considered to be an outro to the song "Frozen." So let's go ahead and listen to these two songs. You can tell me what you think in the comments below. Again, it's yeah, sometimes it's hard to represent something like that if it's not like I'm being preached to that kind of hatred in this music, but yeah, it's just kind of it's sort of a sad thing all around. Anyway, I digress. Let's listen to the music. Okay, there you go. There's some dissection for you. Just dissected some dissection. You know, I'm kind of glad I talked about this band a little bit. Yeah, they do come with some baggage that's hard to handle, but history is history. There's no right side or wrong side of it. There's what you agree with and what you don't agree with. But even, fun history, great history is just as interesting as evil, decrepit history. So this is a really good black metal band. Always have liked these guys. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great holiday, and hail Satan.